We gonna do maximum warfare against Republicans. Florida Republicans, you F around, you gonna find out. If you do the redistricting, we're gonna take out all your members, we're gonna do all this stuff. And what I said was, go ahead, make my day. You don't think we're gonna... You wanna come down here and spend money in Florida? Roll the dice and take your chances, but don't think that you can come down here, issue threats to us, and somehow you're going to make us flinch. That is not happening. And in fact, it did not happen, because as soon as he came out and started doing that last week, Florida legislature turned around and they passed a new map.
The Hakeem Jeffries and any other Al Greens and whomever else, they got to keep some of the Negroes. They got to keep as many as they can on that plantation. The race hustlers, they are just like Massa. They want to keep them Negroes voting Democrat all their lives. That's what they want. They want them Negroes. You know, they better chase them down. They got to hunt them down and keep them, rope them up. They got to get the Negroes back on the plantation, and they will do whatever they can to keep them there.
I mean, my boy DeSantis said, I am going to be there for the party. We're going to bring this out. We're going to bring this through. And now he just lit a political firestorm, and Washington is about to feel it. Republicans in Florida have now passed a brand new congressional map. Didn't take them long either. Good Lord.
Oh, no.
That could wipe out up to 4 Democrat seats overnight and flip the balance of power heading into the midterms. I'm actually starting to get the warm and fuzzies, folks. I gotta admit to you, I was down about this. I mean, I'm still kind of nervous, but I mean, this is starting to look up. So with Ron DeSantis ready to sign it, I think he may have already signed it by now, because it just passed the Senate. They have a new map. Take a look. This is clip 3.
Representative Persons Mullica has waived closed. The question now recurs on final passage of HB 1D. The clerk will unlock the machine and the members will proceed to vote. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? The clerk will lock the machine and announce the vote.
83 yeas, 28 nays, Mr. Speaker.
Show the bill passes. Read the next bill.
None on the desk, Mr. Speaker.
Wow. So that was it. It's passed. They are targeting districts in Tampa, which I love Tampa, Orlando, and South Florida. So as again, up to 4 seats could flip. Nicole, what are your thoughts?
Goodbye, Deborah Wasserman Schultz. See you later. Assalamu alaikum, girlfriend. You got to go. I'm very excited, mostly because some of these districts were drawn because of race. They weren't drawn because of politics. They were drawn because of race. So maybe, just maybe, the next time someone goes running to the Supremes with a gerrymandered map, it'll be because of diluted political power. Imagine that. Imagine that. You know, following the law. That would be like, can you imagine the argument, the ideas that would come out of that court session? It would be something worth watching. But I love that Florida has taken a progressive step. DeSantis had already said that Florida was locked and loaded, and apparently he wasn't playing because they got this done, you know, like they were running for lunch. I mean, they got it done, and they got it done quick. And I have every expectation that states across the South are going to do the same. Again, remember I told you about that pendulum. You know, when you're gaming the system, it can only reach up but so high. When it starts coming back at you, you know, things can get kind of hairy. And I don't want to say I completely understand how some groups have felt disenfranchised for 30 years. Because here in Maryland, you know, as a Republican, I feel absolutely disenfranchised because they chop up our vote the best way they know how. We still have Western Maryland is still very red, and we still have the Eastern Shore that's got a bunch of Democrats, but we outwork them. So we have red delegations there. But imagine what this is going to look like once people stop doing it by race. It's going to be amazing. It is absolutely going to be amazing. maybe, just maybe, PG will stay one district instead of influencing every single part of the state of Maryland. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait.
Yeah. Shelly, what are your thoughts there?
Here I go. I'm raining y'all parade. I'm not so optimistic. I'm not actually cynical, but I'm just a little cautious. And let me tell you why. Because like you mentioned, Nicole, that pendulum. Because these politicians, when the next group comes, it's going to go back and forth. Don't get me wrong. I'm not upset about their vote. I'm not upset about that. And if it's making things fair, if you will, as it's supposed to be, all for it. I'm all for it. I just know history, experience, real life, real time, real people tells me that politicians, by and large, they want power, and they will undo things that work if it's going to mean more power for them, and vice versa. So I'm just a little cautious that this pendulum is going to keep going for some elections to come. That's my only concern. I'm glad about the vote itself for Florida because I think they are trying to make those districts, if you will, as colorblind as possible.
Agreed. I think I like the most about it is now politicians don't get to pick their voters. There's going to be competition. Now, just because they draw a district that's, you know, R4 or R5 district doesn't necessarily mean a Republican is going to win, right? You still have to compete. And this is what we've been saying from the onset.
Exactly.
We want our candidates to come to us and ask for our vote. Prove why you're the best person for it. Not just because you have an R behind your name, we should all pile in behind you. You have to compete for the vote. And I think you're going to see some shakeups, you know, in not only our districts, but in some D districts too. I think we're going to see some shakeups.
Yeah. Well, folks, I mean, I got 2 words. Is it 2 words? Yeah, 2 words. To the southern states, to, you know, Avengers, assemble. Get this thing going. I mean, you see, you know, Captain America, DeSantis, he already was in. He didn't even have to call. Soon as Virginia said it, he started. Let's go. Let's go.
That's why we need DeSantis as state governor. Well, we needed DeSantis as state governor, right, for this round at least. So,
yes, we did. Now, and that's another thing. Make this man put him on the Supreme Court. Put him on the Supreme Court.
I would definitely go with that.
I hope we can get another Supreme Justice because they're getting older. I mean, you know, they're getting old. Put this man on the Supreme Court. That's my next prayer.
All right, let's see who we have. Super chatters here. We have a few coming on, Mr. Producer. We have Tijuana for the jumper. Thank you for your $10 super chat. Thank you for being a member of our Freedom Club. Good evening, ladies. Nicole. Thank you so much for that, Tijuana. Kung Fu CJ is back again. Thank you for your $5 super chat. Matthew 24 says it will be like the days of Noah. People will be doing everything under the sun. Yep. Yep. Thank you for that. And Josh, hi Josh. Thank you for your $20 super chat and for being a member of our Freedom Club as well. We had a massive win today. So now we need some real economic wins. I'm with you, Josh, and some media control. Also, bye. Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I know from personal experience, she is one of the meanest persons in DC. All right, Josh. Josh got the dirt on Debbie.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? I mean, if you ever been around her, you know what it is. My goodness.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, we still got to talk about these Democrats. They are pissed. Okay. And as you mentioned, Debbie Wasserman Schultz is one that's in the crosshairs. Kathy Castor, Darren Soto, Jared Moskowitz, they're all districts that can be redrawn. But they are pissed. And so actually during the vote today in Florida, or yesterday, no, it was today, there was a woman who was just going off as they were voting on the vote. I believe we have the clip here, some deranged Democrat. She got a total meltdown. This is clip 6.
Democracy. This is a violation of the Constitution. It is. It's a violation of the Constitution. I'm out of order, but y'all are doing illegal.
Representative Persons Mullica has waived closed. The question now recurs on final passage of HB 1D. The clerk will unlock the machine and the members will proceed to vote. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? The clerk will lock the machine and announce the vote.
83 yeas, 28 nays, Mr. Speaker.
Show the bill passes. Read the next bill.
None on the desk, Mr. Speaker.
Now, have we seen LaToya here in Maryland? She's one of the lone Republicans in the Maryland General Assembly. Does she do stuff like that? Do any of the Republicans do that? And the Democrats have a super majority here in Maryland. Nicole, you've been around this stuff for a while.
No, let me tell you. So decorum is a thing. And what would generally happen if you act out that way, you would be removed from your committee, right? So you may be on a great committee, a committee that you feel like you're doing great work for your community and everybody else's community. And then suddenly you'll be on the fold up the paperclip committee because you acted a whole ass. Now, he could have stopped the vote. He could have had the sergeant at arms remove her, but that would have stopped what he wanted done. What he allowed her to do is to make a fool of herself on the record, right? And this is what she's saying. Yeah, I know I'm out of order, but this is unconstitutional. Out of order means that you're now going to lose the power that you were elected to have. You're going to be removed from your committee. You're probably going to be publicly censured. And for what she did, it'll probably something all in the Florida newspapers about how she acted up and why this is not appropriate. So there are many ways that they can discipline her. And 9 times out of 10, if she has a primary challenger, now her challenger has some good footage to run against her. It was a dumb move all the way around. Yeah. Absolutely dumb move all the way around. Yeah. Shouting at the top of your lungs doesn't work. Ask Al Green, the representative from Texas that will be going home in December permanently. Yeah, this is what happens when you act a fool. You cannot do that.
Someone asked her name. I think it's Angie Nixon. Is that her name?
Yeah. So yeah,
Angie.
Yeah. I mean, Shelley, we've seen today and yesterday these Democrats losing their minds. They're outraged, calling this anti-democratic or anti-democracy. But we saw them do the same thing in the blue states like California and Virginia. They aggressively pushed for redistricting, so much so that these maps that they created was so far outlandish and unfair as far as the fairness of Democrats and Republicans. So, I mean, what's going on here?
You think about what's going to happen in Minnesota, in Ilhan Omar's seat, majority Somali district. Those weighted votes, not so much anymore. I mean, this is going to be the Wild West of politics. This is what this is going to do. It takes everything and throws it up in the air and tells the American people, now you get to pick. We're not going to pick for you. You get to pick. And there are going to be some surprises. I mean, some people legitimately are going to win in places where they're not supposed to. And that's what happens when you campaign well. When you get out, you meet the people, you sell yourself, and they say, yeah, we like you. We'll pick you. We'll give you a try. But gone are the days that a district has to vote a certain way. If you live in Ilhan Omar's district, you have to vote for her because this is a majority minority district and she's a minority candidate. You never know. They might elect somebody else now.
It's the same thing. Like I said, these plantation gatekeepers, like someone said, they'll tell you what school you can go to. They want to tell you how much money you can have and earn and who you can have in your house, particularly if you have children, you can't have the father there. They want to tell you who you can vote for. That's what these modern day masses do. They want all the niggers to stay on the plantation.